inside your head, he said to me, the answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. He said, it's really not my habit to intrude. Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be lost or misconstrued. But I'll repeat myself at the risk of being rude. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. 7 steps to stop your taxes. You just study the law, Mom. Do not confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. Listen to me, Lee. You don't need to discuss much. To Congress you write, fight, and get yourself free. Read the guarantee deed. Join the freedom plan, stand, and spread the word, gird. Just listen to me. Study the law, Pa. Don't you confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. He said, it grieves me so to see you in such pain. I wish there was something I could do to make you smile again. I said, I appreciate that. So would you please explain about the 7 steps? He said, why don't you read up on it tonight? And I believe that by the morning you'll begin to see the light. Then he hung up and I realized he was probably right. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. 7 steps to stop your taxes. Study the law, Mom. Do not confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. Listen to me, Lee. You don't need to discuss much. To Congress you write, and get yourself free. Read the guarantee deed. Join the freedom plan, stand, and spread the word, gird. Just listen to me. Study the law, Pa. Don't you confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. The problem is all inside your head, he said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. He said, it's really not my habit to intrude. Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be lost or misconstrued. But I'll repeat myself at the risk of being rude. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. 7 steps to stop your taxes. You just study the law, Mom. Do not confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. Listen to me, Lee. You don't need to discuss much. To Congress you write, and get yourself free. Read the guarantee deed. Join the freedom plan, stand, and spread the word, gird. Just listen to me. Study the law, Pa. Don't you confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. He said, it grieves me so to see you in such pain. I wish there was something I could do to make you smile again. I said, I appreciate that. So would you please explain about the 7 steps? He said, why don't you read up on it tonight? And I believe that by the morning you'll begin to see the light. Then he hung up and I realized he was probably right. There's only 7 steps to stop your taxes. 7 steps to stop your taxes. Study the law, Mom. Do not confess, best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free. Listen to me, Lee. You don't need to discuss much. To Congress, you're right, and get yourself free. Read the guarantee deed. Join the freedom plan, Stan. And spread the word, Gerd. Just listen to me. Study the law, Pa. Don't you confess best. There's no need to fear, dear. Just get yourself free.
Hello, my friends. I'm Payman Mutahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School, which I started in 1996. And for over 30 years, I've openly not filed and paid any federal income or payroll taxes, and been teaching Americans like you to do the same legally and safely. Our website is freedomlawschool.org. freedomlawschool.org for you to be free. In this presentation, I'll be covering the topic of the Federal Reserve scam, a central bank of the United States that's privately owned, and its relationship to the federal income tax system. Why they were both came upon the American people at 1913. Is that coincidence or what? No, it was not coincidence. It was planned that way. So I got a short video followed by another one, which will become one, to show you guys about the scam, and we'll continue to answer your questions. I understand this whole issue of the Federal Reserve scam and income tax that are enslaving the American people. They're using us as slaves, and you can stop it. You can stop funding the criminals and crooks out there. Here we go. Ready?
Jekyll Island, November 1910. 7 bankers meeting in secret to create America's central bank. We just can't call it that. The 1907 panic nearly destroyed us. Banks failed, fortunes vanished. We want to control America's money supply, create booms, trigger busts, and profit from both. And how will we do that?
We'll create money from nothing, loan it to the government, and charge interest. Legal counterfeiting, my friends.
But there's a cost. Every dollar we print steals value from existing dollars. It's a hidden tax that flows directly to us. And it gets worse. If we ever get off the gold standard, governments can print money for wars. Endless wars become possible and profitable. Since Americans hate central banks, we'll call it the Federal Reserve. Sounds governmental, doesn't it? It's not. The president will appoint board members, but we'll pick who he appoints. We'll have 12 regional banks. Looks decentralized, democratic even, but New York banks control them all. That's us. You're probably wondering how we're going to get this through Congress. December 23rd, 1913. Most of Congress home for Christmas. Perfect timing for passing unpopular legislation. I'll publicly oppose our own bill in Congress. They'll pass it thinking they beat Wall Street. We'll fund university chairs, write the textbooks. They'll teach our system as economic science. Beautiful. Every American born after this will inherit debt on money we created from nothing. Generational servitude. The Federal Reserve. Not federal, no reserves. But everyone will think it's their government protecting them.
Good afternoon.
And here's the follow-up part, guys. It's not playing. Okay, I guess it's not playing right? Okay, we have to skip it. Sorry, guys. Basically, what it is that they had to have a consistent, reliable way of the federal government paying the interest on the counterfeit money that the Federal Reserve Bank and the big banks, the New York Federal Reserve, were going to lend to the federal government. And that was gold back then, gold coins, not just some paper money. It was actually real gold. So in order to do that, they had to make the American believe that they can pay, and they should pay, taxes directly to the federal government. See, because before back then, direct taxes in America had to be apportioned or divided up amongst the states. This state collects this much. The smaller states collect this much. Different states, but size, collect different amounts and give to the federal government. Although the federal government kind of bypassed that a little bit, but still had to go through that whole process, which was much more cumbersome. So, in order to do that, they pretended that they changed the U.S. Constitution, which limited the federal government's power to tax American people like you in the 50 states directly, that they were freed of that. They said direct taxes now could be handled and collected by the federal government without being apportioned or divided up among the states. That's what basically the 16th Amendment of the Constitution says. It was never ratified, but it doesn't matter. What happened is that somebody named Bruce Shaper went, who got payments, dividends from the Union Pacific Railroad, which was created in Washington, D.C. to do an interstate commerce job of going through the states of the Union, which was basically a federally affected entity, challenged this whole thing in the Supreme Court and asked a wrong question and got the wrong answer, which worked for the bankers. He didn't ask that this money is federal money coming from the railroad, which are federally controlled, federally, under the power of the federal government. He asked the question whether this is a direct tax or indirect tax, and the Supreme Court said, well, if that's a question, the answer is it's a indirect tax, because direct taxation restriction about apportionment, it is still in the Constitution. It has not been repealed. So with that, guess what? The income taxes, constitutional, and you, Mr. Mrs. America, have to pay it. But don't worry, the tax right now is on the very rich people. Very rich people. To pay even 1%, you have to make over $2 million in today's money for 1% tax rate. So that's how they got the camel's nose under the tent to start the process. So yes, you have been enslaved. You are paying taxes to these private banks, which basically are the Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi, and Goldman Sachs. They're the ones that, head of the beast, control the system out of New York. They're the ones that you're paying this tax to. Okay, that's how the system was set up. But you don't have to. First, you want to educate yourself about this whole fraud of the Federal Reserve, okay? And to do that, what you want to do is to go to watch a documentary, America, Freedom to Fascism, okay? So this is the one available on our RLC channel, also on YouTube and Rumble. Check out this great documentary about income tax and the Federal Reserve System. This is the book I read back in 1992 when I started, called The Secrets of the Federal Reserve by Eustace Mullins, okay? It's a great book. I think it's not that long. This video series, it's only 10 parts, called Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney. It's a great introduction to money and the Federal Reserve, how it works. It's the best explanation of the money system I've seen by anybody done in the video format. Although Mike King has a great thing on that also, which I'm going to help him put that online, called The Great Tomato Bubble. Okay, and then this is Bill Masters, Money Masters. Okay, it's a full documentary. Great job. This is very long. It's over 3 hours long, but it's really a good detailed through history of money goes out throughout the even go back to Roman times. Okay, and as far as the book, the complete book on this issue, the banking and money, Federal Reserve is a creature from Jekyll Island. He also goes about the history of money, what it is, and brings it all up to the early 1990s. So now that you got the banking part homework you'll be doing, yes, Federal Reserve is private. There's no reserves. It's not even a bank, really. It's just a cartel, okay, of these crooks or criminals, agreement amongst themselves to come together to rip you off and enslave you. So you don't want to be a slave? You don't want to be paying for your own destruction? Paying the banks and their deep state? You can do that. But it takes a little effort. A little effort. I put it all together for you, but I cannot do it for you. You have to take a little time as you drive around town to and from work and errands, listen to videos of Freedom Law School, and then when you get to lunch or dinner, then you can go ahead and watch the videos. But guess what? I just put together a 12-page brochure that explains it all in a short hurry. I'm going to go with a little bit of that with you right now. I'm proud of it. I'm going to put it on step 1, front page of our step 7 steps to help you be free of the IRS. You're going to download that. We're going to mail them to you for free to pass out to your friends. So here's a preview of this brochure, okay? This is Ed Griffin's speech. I forgot to tell you guys online about Federal Reserve. A very good one out there. You ought to check it out. Here it is. It's called Restore Freedom. Follow the law. Regain your power and freedom. Stop voluntarily paying the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely guarantee. Stop paying for your own destruction by paying these crooks money you never owed in the first place. We the people are in charge. That's what the Founding Fathers put on the Constitution. Because it is our government. We are in charge. They work for us. And I will show you in this brochure how you can pay no income or payroll taxes by following the U.S. government's official legal websites, and that you were deceived into reporting and paying income tax you never owed in the first place. And the deception lies in certain key terms defined differently than those in the dictionary. I think we got the wrong version on here. Can you help me get the right version? That's highlightable. This is not by highlightable. Okay? All right, yeah, that's the wrong version I got here. I don't know what happened here. So, anyhow, this U.S. individual, folks, you see on the 1040 form, is not a 50 states individual. Okay? He or she is really a District of Columbia individual. It should be really called a D.C. individual income tax return, okay? So in the following pages now, you will see legal definitions of certain key terms in the federal tax laws as interpreted by the U.S. Supreme Court, and these definitions are all hidden in plain sight in the law books. Those people who are required to file an IRS 1040 form are citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., not the people of the 50 states. So with that introduction, I'm going to go over the whole thing for you, which, by the way, this summarizes our 5 videos in one presentation. Here we go. Okay? So let's see what we got here. The IRS 1040 income tax form and instructions and U.S. Treasury regulations clearly state that citizens and residents of the United States are required to file a 1040 income tax form and pay federal income tax. However, they do not define the term United States. Okay? The IRS lets you assume that as a U.S. citizen and a citizen of one of the 50 states, you are required to be a slave of the U.S. government and file and pay income tax. There it is. 1040 form instructions on page 8 tells you these rules apply to all U.S. citizens, and I agree that is a correct statement of the law. And here the Code of Federal Regulations, the U.S. Treasury regulations. What did I say also? 1.1-1? that the Section 1 of the Code imposes an income tax on the income of every individual who is a citizen or resident of the United States. Continues, in general, all citizens of the United States, okay, they got to pay income tax. So we go and see this term United States again and again, but it's not defined anywhere. Well, let's go to the website of the United States Office of Law Revision Council of the House of Representatives at uscode.house.gov. And here it is. In Title 26, or Category 26 of federal laws, commonly called the Internal Revenue Code, IRC, Section 7701A, 9, and 10, definitions of the term United States and state only include the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Yep. This shows that the only citizens and residents are District of Columbia residents who are required to file and pay on the IRS 1040 form. None of the 50 states or any U.S. territory like Puerto Rico are included in the definition of the term United States or state. You see it there? Nope. No California, no Florida, no Texas, right? By contrast, you see below, Section 4612 of the Internal Revenue Code, tax on petroleum or oil, specifically includes the 50 states and all U.S. territories, possessions, continental shelf areas, and foreign trade zones. Any crude oil received at a refinery or petroleum products come into those areas must pay the tax. Here it is. Title 26, Tax on Petroleum. For the purposes of this subchapter, Tax on Petroleum, look at the term United States includes. It means the 50 states and a bunch of other territories and continental shelf areas and foreign trade zones. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you one more definition, which is going to make it very easy for you to see. These definitions are unique, and Congress intended for them to be unique from each other. You only read in the laws definitions what's only there. Okay? We're going to talk about Federal Insurance Contributions Act, or FICA taxes, commonly called Social Security taxes that come out of your employees' paychecks, right? However, only wage earners in the 4 U.S. island territories listed below are subject to those withholding surprise, as you will see the term United States defined for this FICA chapter. Not only are the 50 states not listed in the definition of United States, but even the District of Columbia, the seat of the federal government, is not included in this definition. Yep, there's the term United States. Therefore, employees in the 50 states should not have to pay. Employees should not steal from their employees to send the IRS this money that they really steal. Look at it. Look at the United States here. For the purposes of this chapter, FICA, Chapter 21, the United States does not include the 50 states or the District of Columbia. And they made you believe that applies to everybody in the 50 states. That's how Satan deceives. Through deception, they make you afraid and make you a slave, and now you can be free if you choose to continue listening and watching, educating yourself. Furthermore, the U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly stated that when Congress defines a term and excludes what normally may be included in a term's definition, as in the term United States, we have to follow that specific definition, even if it varies or is different from our normal everyday understanding of that term's definition. When it comes to taxes, this rule is much more harsh against the government. There can be no assuming, no implying that a term means anything beyond the specific words used in defining of that term, such as the term United States. If you have any doubt about defining a term in a tax law, you must most strongly conclude that the government does not have the power to tax the person or think that you think may be taxable. Here it is. Stenberg versus Carhart, your Supreme Court, right? When a statute law includes explicit definition, we must follow the definition, right? Even if it varies from the term's ordinary meaning, and it is axiomatic, self-evident, obvious that the statutory definition of the term excludes unstated meaning of that term. Here's a unanimous Supreme Court tax case of Gould versus Gould. Tell you what I told you earlier, that in interpretation or understanding of statutes levying taxes, it is the established rule not to extend the provisions by implication beyond the clear import of the language used, or to enlarge their operations so as to embrace or include matters not specifically pointed out. In case of doubt, they are construed most strongly against the government and in favor of the citizen. Okay. Now, I'm going to take you guys to the next section of the deception of the propaganda of the media and accountants, CPAs, tax attorneys who've been deceived to deceive you. Okay? The IRS accountants, lawyers, and major media deceive the American people into becoming IRS slaves when they say that the 16th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution gave Congress the power to tax income of the people of the 50 states. But the U.S. Supreme Court has clearly stated that the 16th Amendment did not give Congress any new taxing powers. So, since before the 16th Amendment, Congress could not tax the income of the people of the 50 states, Congress does not have the power to tax your income now either. There it is. 16th Amendment conferred no new power of taxation to the federal government. So, if that's the case, how did they scam us? How did they have us pay an income tax? When the 16th Amendment did not change anything. You'll see it here. I'll show you the trick. When we hear the term United States, most of us think of the 50 states. However, the U.S. Supreme Court tells us this is not always the case. Here's the case of Huenberg and Allison versus the Tax Commissioner of Ohio. The term United States may be used in any one of several senses. It may be merely the name of a sovereign occupying the position analogous to that of the sovereigns in the family of nations. For example, compare us to Russia, China, France, Egypt, right? The second one is what they use in tax laws. It may designate the territory over which the sovereignty of the United States extends. Also, there's a third definition, which is it may be the collective name of the states which are united by and under the Constitution. Remember, the second one is that the one that they use for tax purposes. Look at, for example, here on citizenship. For citizenship purposes, we are all citizens of our states, as well as citizens of the collective United States. Here's the definition of U.S. for nationality and immigration purposes. Okay? In Title 8, Section 101, A38, the term United States, okay? Wow, look at that. Means the continental United States, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands of the United States. So, we're all U.S. and state citizens, but not for tax purposes. But to use the term in the U.S., you think, oh, it's me. I'm the one that got to pay income tax. That's how they tricked us, people, okay? Now, this is going to get interesting. So, however, for income, payroll, corporate, wagering, and estate tax purposes, the term United States refers only to Washington, D.C., and or other federal lands. They made you believe that these taxes apply to you by using the term United States in these tax laws, when these tax laws never did apply to you or any of the people of the 50 states. So, in 1901, the U.S. Supreme Court stated that the federal government may tax people and things in federal lands and territories in ways that would not be allowed in the 48, now 50 United States. That's right. And that's how they got the scam going. Here's Down versus Bidwell, a 1901 U.S. Supreme Court case, says this in a summary. This is a summary written by Wikipedia, which is a good summary, by the way, because it's a convoluted, long case. The Constitution does not necessarily apply to territories of the United States government. Instead, Congress has jurisdiction to create law within territories in certain circumstances, particularly those dealing with revenue, taxes, which would not be allowed by the Constitution for the U.S. states. How do you like that? See? The income tax would not be allowed in the 50 states because direct taxes still must be apportioned or divided up amongst the states. But with Washington, D.C., federal territories and lands, they can do what they want. That's how they deceived us. So, bottom line is that the federal tax laws have been written constitutionally correct. However, the federal government, deep state, along with their mainstream newspapers and radio and TV stations, deceived us to believe that the people of the 50 states are slaves of the federal government and must sign 1040 income tax confession forms for our master, the IRS, and pay a portion of our hard-earned money to our slave master, the IRS. It really steals. Yep. That is why in 1913, when the first modern income tax law was written by Congress, the term United States and state explicitly included only Washington, D.C. and U.S. territories, not any of the 48, now 50 states. Look at this. In 1913, the term state United States included only D.C. and territories. Look at that. That the word state of the United States, when used in this section, right, shall be construed to include any territory, Alaska, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Philippines. Yeah. And in 1954, the definition of the United States included only D.C. and U.S. territories. That's right. In 1771 section, goes way back then. At that time, the term United States and states include only territories of Alaska and Hawaii and the District of Columbia. Okay? Now, they took Alaska out, but on July 12, 1960, when the territory of Hawaii was taken out of the definition of the term United States, after Alaska had come out also, in Section 7701 of the Internal Revenue Code, IRC, federal tax laws, where the term United States and tax laws was defined. The laws were backdated to August 21st, 1959, almost a year before the law was changed. Why? Because on August 21st, 1959, Hawaii became the 50th U.S. state. Since Hawaii was no longer a federal territory, the people of Hawaii could no longer be taxed on their income. The same had been done for Alaska after it became the 49th state in 1959. Boom. You see it for yourself. They took out the territory of Hawaii, okay, and made the law backdated to 1959. August 21st. So, here it is, folks. It's now up to you to decide, stop being a slave you were never meant to be. And how do you do that? How do you stop being a slave? Right? Of the Federal Reserve, these crooked banksters. For over 100 years, they ripped you and your parents and grandparents, making you believe you got to be a slave of these banks. Okay? The answer is actually pretty simple. Okay? What you want to do is to go to freedomlawschool.org and take the 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception and fear, which leads to you being a slave of the IRS, and allows the IRS to take your hard-earned money while you put the rope of 10 for income tax confession form around your neck. So 7 steps are there, okay? So, by the way, I'm going to briefly mention to you, the second step is key. I just gave you the first step in a summary. But you should know that when you sign the IRS Form 1040 Income Tax Confession Trap form, you state under oath that you owe the IRS money. And by doing so, you are putting the IRS noose around your neck. That's right. This is the truth that was not told to you by your accountant, by your CPA, enrolled agent, or tax attorney even, okay? So look at the form. Don't believe me. Look at this 1040 form signature line. It says sign here in big print. By tiny print. What does that say? Sign under penalties of perjury. What does that mean? Under penalties of perjury mean throw me in prison if everything on this form is not true, correct, and complete. That your accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, tax attorney, he or she filled it out, but you end up owing the money and you end up going to prison. You confess under oath about all this. Right there on line 37, you see amount you owe. Also, you put that amount and you sign that you owe that amount to the IRS. So this is how you give the IRS the power to audit you, empty your bank account, steal your property, and put you in prison. It was all done by you. Unwittingly, they deceived you to hang yourself, give the rope to the IRS. That's why you're afraid of the IRS. When they got you to put the rope around your neck and give it to the IRS and enslave yourself, imagine that. What a good psych job they did on all of us. But good news is, you can stop. That's right. I stopped over 30 years ago. Haven't filed and paid. They've been to prison. They know me very well. I've been on the criminal investigation and other investigations by the IRS for over 30 years. Now in prison, I beat them. None of my students also have gone to prison who came to me clean like you and stopped filing and paying income tax clean with Freedom Law School first. None of the bank account be taken. The paycheck not levied. No property will be stolen by the IRS, home, or businesses. And you can be free if you choose to. It's all in your hands. I love you all, and I want you to be free, but I cannot make that decision. You have to make the decision to be free. No longer a slave. No longer paying for your own destruction to enemies in deep state and banks and the crooks and criminals who are covered up for the Epstein files. Right? Those pedophiles, the crooks, they don't want the names released. Right? So the way to do that is, again, by going to our website, freedomlawschool.org. No law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes. It's all there on our website. You don't need to be afraid of them. You can be free. Okay? So just go to freedomlawschool.org and make it happen. Okay? So with that, brothers and sisters, I wish you all the very best, because I came to America from Iran in 1977 to live in a free country. I found that, whoa, look at this. Americans are not free. Like advertising on television. What's wrong here? Something's wrong. I got to figure it out. So I learned from all the good patriots in the early 1990s what's going on. And I did my own research and reading. I found out, oh my gosh, we are a free nation. We just were duped into believing that we have to be slaves. We're not slaves of the federal government. So with that, I'll give you all my love, and I give you all the education that I've gathered for over 30 years. But you got to be on your drive to and from work. Listen to our videos at freedomlawschool.org. Okay? Go to step 1. Okay? Start there on our videos. Watch the videos, step 1, step 2. All of them are there. And as you drive around, You're going to say, no, I know how that works. Okay. I understand. I know what's happening. I can be free. There's 80 million non-filers out there based upon IRS's best estimates. They can't get us all. They cannot get Paymon, the president of Freedom Law School. You know, me, I'm much smaller than him, the target than the IRS. So we can get together, even be more powerful. So with that, I give you my wisdom, my knowledge, my love for each of you, and invite you to help yourself be free and share this information on your social media, on YouTube, you know, Facebook, X, every place out there. Put our videos out there. Put our message out there. Put our website out there. Let your family, friends, anybody you love and care about, give them the chance to be free. If you don't tell them about us, they may never heard about Freedom Law School and never be free. But you loving them will make that possible for them. So with that, thank you for watching me, and hope to meet you all someday very soon in person. Now, my friends, I will go to your individual questions. Okay? The number to call if you have a question is 424-552-1299. And then on your telephone keypad, you press 1, and I will take your questions. Again, the number to call is 442-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. We have 2 calls right now, waiting to get the question answered. 3, actually. The first one's from area code 843. Second one from area code 316. Next, we have a call from area code 646. Remember, the number to call is 424-552-1299, and then press 1. Let's go to the call from area code 843. Can you give me, my friend, your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please?
Hey, Paymon, this is Don. I've been following you for a couple of years now. Learned of you just online, and I'm not sure how. It's been a couple of years. So.
Okay, could you get closer to the microphone? We can barely hear you.
Okay, yep. So my question is, I want to sell my company stock options, and how do I guess, prevent them from taking withholding? I don't think they will take it, but is there any, since that is that viewed as a capital gain, or is that different from income?
It doesn't matter what kind of income it is. If this money came from France, you worked and lived in France, you have to pay French income tax. If you lived in Germany, the money was from Germany, you have to pay German tax. If the money came from Germany or France, you have to pay that. Same thing here. Your money is not from the District of Columbia. Therefore, you don't owe any District of Columbia taxes any more than you owe French or German taxes. You're free. Take the money. It's yours.
Yep. Got one more question for you real quick. Some friends set up a business LLC for real estate, potential real estate, commercial real estate transaction, which I'm against because, the first thing they have to do is file with the IRS. And, I've tried talking to them about that, but they're not really open to having that conversation. So if the transaction goes through, is there any workaround for me as part of this LLC if the deal was to go through and we were to make some money? Is that a different scenario, or is it the same as your last answer?
Same as a guy that has a job, your own job. They send a W-2 to the IRS every year, right? Or you get paid an independent contractor, 1099. It makes no difference. Okay? The third-party reporting to the IRS doesn't matter. The IRS doesn't use them for the most part. Almost always uses them against filers who under oath claimed he had some income but did not declare the other income. If you're going to declare, you better be all in. But guess what? You're out. Okay? You don't owe any income tax at all, period, to the IRS. So it doesn't matter. At 1099 may go about this transaction and be sent to the IRS about the real estate sale. Not a big deal. And if you were concerned about that, you can do something about all the crooks and criminals. Don't pay them your money and be safe by joining our Restore Freedom plan. You know, you can have a 100% guarantee. Just take a little portion of what you'd have otherwise paid the crooks and criminals through our Restore Freedom plan, and you can be free and protected 100%. No jail time for you. They will never take your money. We do all the work for you. Attorneys, consultation, prepaid by us, done. And if you take your money, we'll reimburse you. So you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going to strongly consider that because, I was thinking that the LLC might be different because they kind of make you fill it out up front, basically, providing your bank and that sort of information for the LLC. So I thought, well, then they may have a claim.
No, doesn't matter.
To any profit.
No, doesn't matter. As a student, by the way, we'll make sure you become a student. We make sure the paperwork on the real estate closing is done right. In fact, if you join us first, okay, we'll make sure that the escrow company, title company, does not send a false 1099 form to the IRS about the sale of the real estate for you.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure, my friend. Thanks for calling, Don. You're welcome, my friend. We have area code 316 caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, this is Heath. I heard about you on the Alex Jones show.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Say it again, please.
Pete.
Pete. Okay, Pete. What is
Pete,
on your... What's on your mind, Pete?
Well, so I recently got married in the Philippines, and I'm trying to get my wife over here, and I've got to file an affidavit of support. And to do that, you got to show, your last 3 years of taxes to show that you can provide support for that person that's coming over here so they won't be a ward of the state. I was wondering if you were familiar with that and if there's any way that I can get around that, or am I just going to have to bite the bullet and pay the taxes?
Sure.
File the taxes?
No problem. The states can also have you be naturalized, but they've abandoned that power to the federal government. So that's why this situation exists. But anyhow, it's very simple. Have a friend or relative be a co-sponsor on the application and give their tax return instead of yours. Then he makes good money. In case something happens to her, she becomes a ward of the state, goes on welfare. He's a guarantor. That's all it is. No big deal. Do you have any relatives or family members who would do that for you, which is not a big deal? Are you there, Pete? Pete? Are you there? I think we lost him. Okay, we'll hope you hear my answer. He got disconnected, but okay. Looks like our phone line got disconnected, I think. Okay. The phone was dead. What? Okay, well, guys, apparently we neglected to have the phone be charged. So we have to let the phone charge to be able to call those, take those calls. In. So I apologize to each one of you who are on the call waiting to get the question answered. So give us about a minute or so. The phone should get charged. We can answer your questions. By the way, I was at Ron Paul barbecue, birthday barbecue in Jackson, Texas, just south of Houston, this Saturday. And I met some of you there, which was great. I saw some old friends and some new friends. And I don't get to get out that much as I used to. But that was one great event. If no big events across America that you think we should be at, call us. Give us the option to consider going to that event. Live events are not worth doing unless there's a large number of people there. Because people don't show up to events anymore like they used to, unfortunately. Okay, so that's the reality of the situation as it exists. But if there's an event full of freedom lovers, yes, we definitely consider being there. I myself even will consider being there to maybe give a talk, perhaps, if that's what you guys want me to do, so that we can take America back. Remember, my goal always have been, we got to stop paying for our own destruction to this government who's out of control and working against us. How many people died of the corona jab? How many? Hundreds of thousands? Millions? We don't really know, because they don't count them. When someone just drops dead, nobody says, oh, they may have died of corona. Look into it. No, they don't look into those deaths. But I can tell you this, many people have died. Personally, I know people. One of my friends, she said we didn't take the corona shot. She knew 4 people that simply dropped dead within 1 to 2 weeks after taking the COVID shot. Paid by who? Who paid for all that? We did. I didn't, but the American people did. How? By being deceived to pay income taxes that American people never owed in the first place. Do you think these guys will try again? Oh, yes, they will. Oh, yes. Don't think just because Trump's in there, the deep state not work. Okay? They try and get, they pass laws without people reading it. That's right. They just put everything in this one huge bill, okay, called the Defense Authorization Act, and anything good and bad and ugly is in that bill. All the ugly and bad is in those bills. That must pass to fund the government. They don't discuss bills separately to spend money like they should be doing, like they used to do in Congress. They bring this whole massive monster and they say, you must pass it, Congress. So congressmen are mere tools of the deep state agenda. They cannot, in that system, represent the interest of you and me and the American people. So why are we funding this entity, the federal government, that's working day and night to destroy you further, to make you weak further? I haven't done so for over 30 years. And people tell me, Paymon, I know you have, but now people are realizing what's going on. Now they're waking up. What happened with Corona hoax, with January 6th, with Trump being attacked left and right, impeached in Russia, Trump-Russia conspiracy hoax, and he was, FBI raided his home, and they prosecuted, even convicted him, railroaded him to conviction. They even shot at him twice. There are people waking up. I hope so. We'll see. Okay, it's your chance. You got to do your part. I'm doing mine. It's your turn. All right? Thank you for your patience, everybody. We got the phone working again. We have a call from area code 646. He got disconnected. I'm sorry he got disconnected. But let's go to all the calls we have. We have one, let's see, from area code 385 is the next caller, and then followed by area code, 814, followed by a call from area code 303, and then area code 603 caller. All right, I think that's what we got for right now. We have one more, don't we, below that one? No, that's it. Okay, all right. Area code 385 caller, you are next, my friend. Give us your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? Area code 385 caller, speak up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, what is your name?
My name is Corey, and I heard about you through my brother just yesterday.
Very good. You got a good brother. How did he hear about Freedom Law School?
He's been following it for several years.
What took him so long to tell you? My gosh.
Well, I think he's told me before, but I wasn't ready to hear.
Ah, okay. Guys, let's give the brother a hand for not giving up on his brother. See, he kept talking to him until the brother was ready to listen. Sometimes that's how it is. The personal situation going on in their life is not, they're not there to really have an interest or open mind to hear it. But now he has. Well, Corey, good job. And how may I help you, Corey?
Thank you. I have taken steps through a different organization before I heard about you to withdraw from the Federal Reserve and, not pay taxes. But it comes to my corporation. I'm a chiropractor, and I have an S corporation. And when I file my taxes with my accountant, she will no longer file them for me if I'm not claiming taxable wages as an owner and working in my company. She says federal law requires that for S corporation corporate taxes, you have to, the owner, if he's working in it, has to be paid wages that are taxable.
Okay, so what's your question?
I'm looking for another opinion on that, and how can I get an accountant to help me file my taxes for the corporation without showing that I have taxable wages?
It's very simple. Your corporation, your S Corp, is not required to file and pay federal income tax either. Is your S Corp created under the laws of the District of Columbia? What state is your company located in? Or created under?
In Utah.
Utah. It's a Utah entity. Utah is a foreign country to the District of Columbia. Therefore, there's no requirement for your Utah corporation to file a federal income tax return to begin with. Problem solved.
Do I need to go through a program like yours to actuate that?
Nope. You can just stop. It's that simple. How you stop taking the corona jab? You just stop taking it. Same thing here.
I take the jab for sure.
Yeah. Any questions, Corey?
I guess not. Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, I don't know whatever the program you did, but I also did a bunch of nonsense programs also. Back in 92, I was 29 years old. I paid $1,500 of back then money, about probably $8,000 today's money, to get untaxed. So I was thought. To get away from the banking system and to cancel my adhesion contract with the king by having a bank signature card and income tax. Then 7 months later, I paid $800 to become a state citizen, so I was told. And I paid thousands more for live seminars and audio tape, all garbage. I met a good group. A friend of mine taught me how to use a law library, looked them up, found out, this is the real law, is this. My friends, Patriots, had some good points. They did, but they had a lot of stuff wrong. So there's no thing to withdraw from the Federal Reserve System. That tells me that we were sold patriot mythology. Okay? Nonsense. But that's okay. It got you here. So now you will learn real law by going to our website. Okay, you can do it for free on your own if you want to. Or you want to guarantee that nothing will be taken from you and your family. You be safe. You will not go to prison. We have the Restore Freedom Plan available if you want to be part of this restoration of America, take a part and be the deep state and have America and your family be free. All right, Corey, are you good? That's it for you?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. All right.
All right.
We have
Thank you. Goodbye.
You're welcome, my friend. Goodbye. Let's see. We have a 303 area code caller. Next, give me your first name, my friend. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? Area code 303 caller. Nope. Okay, 303 caller. We're going to come back to you later, maybe. Let's go, before we go to area code 630 caller, we have also 646 area code caller after him waiting. So 603 area code caller, give us your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. 603 area code caller, give us your first name. I heard about. Then your question, please. 603 area code caller, give us your first name. Are you there? Area code 603 caller. Turn your computer volume down. Only talk to the phone. Turn your volume on your computer down. 603, you could call it to 0, and just talk to me on your phone, so I can hear your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's your name?
Hello. Yeah, my name is Alexander, and I called a couple weeks ago, and I hope you're doing well. I heard about you through just curiosity and digging down the tax rabbit hole. And I'm in Chicagoland. So is that it? Is that all you want to know?
Okay, sure. How did you hear about us back when you called us 2 weeks ago?
How did I hear about it? I heard about you because I was just genuinely curious. I never really wanted to pay taxes, and I just started digging, and I did a lot of things you did, made a lot of mistakes you made, and I was just curious. So I think I don't know. I think I just I found you through Joe Bannister more than likely.
Okay. And how may I help you, Alexander?
Yeah. I kind of have a similar question to the first person that asked a question about capital gains and stuff like that, but. So my initial question a couple weeks ago was about an IRA because both my parents passed away, and they left me an IRA and of just some savings that they had, and I'm trying to. It's in a trust with my sister and I as a beneficiary, but it's in J.P. Morgan with Chase with their money management fund, and I'm trying to at some point in the next 30, 60 days. We have a house to sell. And that's a whole nother question in itself. But basically, we just have some assets, and I'm not the executor, so unfortunately, it's not my call. But what's going to happen is basically the assets are going to be divided amongst us two, and there's a house to be sold, and then there's an IRA which is going to be divided in two. And I'm trying to figure out if there's any way possible because to essentially not get taxed on this, because I think the IRA is going to get divided in two, and then it's up to our own. So I'm thinking, as you said last week, to just have it self-directed. But I guess my question is this: is for the IRA, how do I get that self-directed? I mean, would joining your program solve that? I mean, do I just ask the representative at the bank, say, hey, I want to self-direct? And
no, the bank doesn't do that. They always want to direct it, control it. I got to refer you to somebody else that does those things. So when you become a member, you get a referral to others, experts, specialists, accountants, any other specialists you need, financial planners, others that, have real estate agents, mortgage loan brokers that, different occupations that can help you with these kind of unique things that you need. You need some estate planning, and I'll be happy to refer you to someone like that. As a member, yes, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, because I asked the bank representative, they're like, what? Well, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, they don't.
I'm not.
Because they always direct it. They always direct. That's their job. They don't want you to be free. Okay? They want to keep you as their customer. The self-directed IRA means you're in charge of it, basically, not the bank.
Right. Yeah. I guess, okay. All right, so I'll ask. Maybe I'll join your program and you can help me with that. But, yeah, okay. And then, because like, even if they let me self-direct it, won't taxes immediately be deducted from the IRA?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm worried about.
No, as long as the money goes from one retirement account to another retirement account, like IRA to IRA, there's no withholding, no tax whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's like a 1031 exchange.
No, it's not even that.
House,
it's very simple. You don't have to worry about nothing at all. You'll be fine that way.
Okay. All right. And then the other question is for the house, like, if the house is in a trust and the trust says we have to sell the house, which we're going to do in the next 90 days, like, is there any way to sell a house and not get taxed on it?
Yes. You never owe tax on it in the first place, as long as the house is not in Washington, D.C. You got to get that to your head. You never owe the tax in the first place all your life, Alexander. You were deceived. Pay income taxes you never owed in the first place. Got it? There's nothing to get out. There's nothing to get out of. You never owed it in the first place. Got that difference in your head?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still, my mind is still fighting that idea that I'm open to it. So I'm definitely getting humbled here. Okay. I think that's it. I'm thinking if I have one. And then this is my last question. As a business, I understand, so I don't know taxes ever, but I'm just curious, like, and maybe I have the language wrong, I'm not an accountant, but I've done some. So my understanding is I researched a lot of super wealthy people, and they all say, like, my understanding is they all kind of play they try to deduct as much as possible by having as much expenses as possible. So they pay taxes, but they essentially use the tax system to pay no taxes by being rich and wealthy. But I don't understand, to me, it's like, is that almost on the same level as paying no taxes? Because if they're paying no taxes by deducting it all,
no,
and we're paying no taxes by paying no taxes.
If they eventually pay taxes, they might delay it for some time, but eventually pay income tax or payroll tax or something. They pay, number one. Okay, number two, they signed that 1040 form, confession form, under oath. And by doing that, they put the rope around their own neck every year with the help of an accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, tax attorney. They risk going to prison for tax evasion. They open themselves to IRS coming after them. No, we simply do not risk anything by not filing anything to begin with the IRS.
Right. So what does Donald Trump, he signs the confession form, but he said on camera, I don't pay taxes because I'm not stupid. Right?
So that's what he says. He pays income tax.
Yeah.
Maybe just not as much as otherwise he would without better accountants, but he does pay income tax.
Okay. All right. So people who pay little income tax, we're smarter than they are, but they're smart. But we're the smarter ones. Okay.
Or they're cheating.
That's what it sounds.
Or they're cheating. Okay? Accountant comes to somebody I know has his own business who makes over $50,000 a year as his own business. He pays only $5,000 a year. I said, your accountant is greasing your way to prison. What? Oh, he's a good Jewish accountant. I don't care what he is or not. He's not. He's greasing your way to prison. Because the self-employment tax by itself is about 50%. 50% of 50,000, up 50,000 is over 7,500. Add some income tax on top of it, you gotta be paying the IRS at least $15,000. How do you pay only $5,000? Because your accountant is greasing your way to prison in case your number gets called. Okay, that's what's going on out there. These rich people are got accountants that want to, they're rather, take money from you and risk you go to prison, and then you change to another accountant who'll do the same.
Okay.
You don't need them at all. Just fire them all. You don't need them.
You're just playing the game, and you're getting good at the game, but you're still stuck in the system. You're still stuck in a lie, even if you're good at playing the game, right?
You're not good because the accountant's in charge. He's the one that's doing all the paperwork, but he doesn't go to prison. You do.
Okay. Yeah. So you're a happy slave, or you're not a slave at all, right?
You're slave or free? If you are free, why do you have to sign a piece of paper under oath to your master, under oath? Master, I swear my income is only this much. I swear to you, master, don't pick on me with an audit, please. Right? If you're free, you would not have to do that, would you? And you are free. You were just lied to and deceived to accept and believe you are a slave, which you never in the first place. Okay, Alexander?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You are welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Let's go to a 646 area code caller. Seems to be back. I'm with you, my friend. Give us your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Hi, Faymon. Good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you...
What's your name?
First and foremost. I'm sorry, my name is Angelo, and I've heard about you from a friend.
Okay. From what sources?
Okay. I'm sorry?
What sources?
I called you before. I told you that he's somebody that you knew personally, but we just decided to call him a friend. I didn't want to say his name.
That's fine. And friend. Friend's good enough. Very good, my friend. And how may I help you, Angelo?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about, I heard you mention in passing, how do I, a way to protect yourself from the crypto exchanges, that you can send them a form saying that you're signing under duress. Can you elaborate on that? And how do I go about doing that?
You signed what under duress, you say?
Like a tax form to send to the crypto exchanges when you sell your crypto?
The crypto exchanges do not make you fill out any tax form, except they want you to fill out a W-9 form. That's what they do. And you have to fill it out under duress, otherwise they will not do that. You can later on send them a letter by certified mail that, hey, this W-9 you had me sign for, I did it under duress involuntarily, otherwise you would not do business with me. Okay? So I shouldn't have to do that at all. That's how you basically handle that situation.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate that. And I also wanted to ask you about, I live in the state of Georgia. I saw on your website that Georgia is like piggybacks off federal, but they have aggressive collections. And I didn't quite understand whether that kind of meant like, should people in Georgia not exempt from state tax, or can they?
I did not hear the last part of your question.
I just wanted to know if people in the state of Georgia can exempt from state taxes or not.
Yes, Georgia follows federal law. Okay, so if you don't owe any federal income tax, you don't owe any Georgia income tax either.
Okay, but your website mentioned that they're aggressive with collections, so does that put me at any risk?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure at Freedom Law School told you that. They're not that aggressive. No, not to my knowledge. They seem to be, no, they're just average. I think they probably, probably about average. No, they're not that aggressive. California is the most aggressive, okay? Other very aggressive states, I would say, would be like Massachusetts, Georgia, New York, Wisconsin. But no, Georgia's not. It's just more like average.
Okay. That helps. Thank you. And my last question, if you don't mind, I started a new job about 3 months ago, and I just recently tried to email the payroll company to exempt from federal, but nobody has replied to me. Do you know if it's just too late to file to exempt from federal? Should I just wait till next year?
No,
Try that.
Try it right now. It doesn't hurt to try. Go to give it a try.
I mean, I did. They just didn't reply to my email. That's the only way to do it.
Well, I don't know what's going on with your details of your case, but try again. You know, you haven't flooded W-4 exempt property on like our website. Okay, on our website we have that for you. W-4 to free yourself from income tax withholding. On the right on our website, it's the third item listed there on our website. Go to stop withholding their property.
Okay, I'll see that. All right, I'll look through that and I'll try that again.
Sounds
All right,
good.
that's it. I appreciate your time.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
what you do, sir.
You're welcome, Angelo. Thanks for calling, my friend. All right, we have, I think, one more caller left from area code 812 at this time. If you have a question, folks, it's a good time to call. Get on the list. The number to call is 442-552-1299 and press 1 on your keypad. 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad. Let's see. Next, we have a call from area code, 630, I think, right? Did we take 630 caller before? No, we didn't. Yeah. Let's go with 630 caller. You're live, my friend. No, he's not there? Okay, 812 is the only one left. Okay, 813 area code caller. You are live, my friend? Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Payman. My name's Dawn. How'd I hear you? Oh, gosh, you're everywhere.
What do you mean everywhere? What do you mean everywhere?
Yeah, Diamond, Soka Diamond, and Kim Iverson. Seen you in a lot of places.
Oh, you see me in several of my interviews. Okay. Very good, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Don. You seem to be obviously a rare person. Listen to some good people. Very good.
I kind of piggybacking on that last caller who was asking about, transferring a retirement, an inherited retirement IRA to my own IRA. So if it's from a self-directed regular IRA, can I still transfer it over to my Roth IRA?
I know you can transfer it to your individual retirement account, the regular one. I'm not sure about the Roth IRA.
Does it matter what kind of IRA it is, though? If the one that's in the inheritance is not a Roth, can you still transfer it?
Of course.
Without them nabbing a bunch of tax out, I guess is the question.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that. You know, I cannot guarantee what a third party may do, but they should not be taking anything because it's from a retirement account A to retirement account B.
Okay. All right, well, I'll give it a shot. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome, Don. My pleasure. Let's go to 505 area code caller. Give us your first name, my friend, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hello, Payman.
Hello?
Hello, Payman?
Yes.
This is Scott. I heard about you on Rumble, YouTube, a couple of other places, Joe Bannister. And I actually called last week, and I had a couple of questions I forgot to ask you.
Okay.
So I'm the guy that got 3 CP504s back in June. And before that, I'd been in CNC. And instead of filing another 433F, I filed a W8BEN and 3 15103s. And you had suggested last week that was not the right decision.
Correct.
So I haven't heard anything from them yet.
Good.
But I am looking. Excuse me?
Good.
Yeah. But if I do, can I just send them a 433F again? From what I understand, the CP504 is not the last notice for collection.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at IRM 25.1.1.3.3, the right to reduce or avoid or minimize taxes. Is there any way that I can get the amount they say that I owe them reduced?
Why do you owe them anything in the first place if you did not give them a 1040 form signed?
Yeah, that was another question I have. The whole U.S. individual income tax thing.
If you don't file a 1040 confession form, if you do not swear under oath you owe them money, you owe them nothing.
Well, I did sign it. So is there a way, has anybody ever challenged that as far as fraud goes?
Not successfully.
Uh-huh. But according to 25.1.1.3.3, I do have the right to reduce or minimize or avoid. Is there
You
some way I
don't
can
owe them
do
anything,
that
my
with them?
friend. You don't owe them. You just go from here forward. What you already filed under oath with every exemption of any kind already there. It's not easy to change that now. You just
Right.
go on from here. That's the best option.
So just either pay or try to get in CNC again?
Just don't file a 1040 form again. Period. No W4 and W8 ban, none of that stuff either. You do not need those IRS forms at all.
Sure. Well, right now it's only Social Security, so there's no W-4 involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been just studying the USC definition of citizen and definition of individual, and it's just a word game to me.
Yep. They play word games.
play
That's
around
how they
with the
trap
words.
you. That's how they enslave you. By using words to deceive you with.
Well, what about the GPO Style Manual 5.23, where it says citizens and nationals? So I'm either one of those since I was born in North Carolina.
Okay.
So if I say I'm a national and not a citizen, can I work with that at all? Do I have any leverage that way?
No.
Okay.
All right, Scott. Thank you for calling, my friend.
Well, thanks,
Thank you for
Payman.
your good questions. You're welcome. Let's go to, we have two more callers right now waiting. One from area code 714 and another one from area code 630. 714 for area code caller. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Paymon, this is John from Torrance, California. I know you, you know me. I have a testimonial on your website. You know me.
Please continue, John. What's your question, my friend?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you
What's
hear
your
me?
question? Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to state that that the people, even the gentleman that had been calling in earlier last couple of weeks about the deferring the IRA. I'm not going to give any specific details, but yeah, that's possible. I've done that with your assistance, and it's just wanted to let everybody know it's possible. And for all those people calling in asking what to do, I think the most important thing is to become a Freedom Law School member, and that would solve a lot of problems. I was very hesitant for years, about 15, 20 years ago, and it's the best thing I ever did. Just wanted to say that, Paymon.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your support, encouraging other Americans to join hands together with you and me and everybody else together. We are much more powerful and much safer. So thank you for that support, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but it is possible to, you might say, kick the can, defer it down the road to where you don't have to pay all the extortion to 20% on the IRA and all that. It is possible. I just wanted to let people know. But I think it's important to become a Freedom Law School member. I wanted to ask you a technical question. Oh, it's really pretty simple, really. Do you think that the income tax was really instituted to tax the corporations, then they deferred the payment to the individual, the people by pointing the finger at them and say, you want the taxes, go to them, because the corporations write off their liability and then defer the liability to the wage earners. Do you think that's what's happening over the years, or am I wrong about that?
That's a very big, confusing question. I do not understand it.
Okay. Okay, then I won't get into details about that right now. But thank you very much, Pamon, for all your years of help and service. You're great. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling, John. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, brother.
Okay, Pam.
You look like you have one more caller from area 630, right? Okay, 630 caller. You looks like you might be the last caller we have tonight. Go ahead and ask your question. Tell me how you hadn't heard of us also, please.
Okay. Hey, Pamon.
Hi.
Alexander again. I just have one extra question.
Okay. What else do you want to know, my friend?
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm considering moving out of the country, and I know someone kind of asked about this, about the Philippines and getting like some sort of exemption. But in terms of moving, the same question kind of comes up because when it comes to visas and all that stuff, they generally want to know through taxes, what is your income, and either you have to show it in one large sum of cash, or they typically want taxes for some like residency requirements, and also, so I'm wondering, is there a way? How would you go about getting around that? I mean, I guess you just have to have a lot of capital, or is there another way besides having to show taxes?
Get around what exactly are you referring to?
Say that again. Sorry.
You say get away from what? Get away from what? From what exactly you want to get away from? If you don't want to file, just don't file. That's it.
Yeah, I know. I don't file. I haven't filed my taxes.
Don't file, but then you're good then.
But if countries ask you, for example, let's just put in something we can, even like banks, if you want to get on a mortgage, they ask for taxes, but I haven't filed taxes for years, so how do you get a mortgage and how do you move to another country when these big entities want tax returns? I guess that's what I'm curious.
All those things are available to our members, to refer to specialists, for example, that handles home loan mortgages for non-filers. So we have specialists in different areas that we know that we'd be happy to refer our students to.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for calling. Let's see now. I think we're almost done with the calls today, don't we? I'm not sure because some of these numbers look repetitious. Area code 646 caller. We took care of him, I think. Area code 630 caller. I think it was the one we just called right now, right? 606 area code caller. Maybe not. No, he left. Okay, so I think 646 caller is the only one we got left, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I don't see 646. Oh, he is. 630 caller. Also, we just took care of 303 area code caller. He's been very patiently waiting. 303 caller, are you there? Area 303? Announce yourself, please. You're not there? Okay, I think we're done. All right, folks. Remember, if you file for an extension till October 15th, you are okay. You did the right thing. You can investigate this issue further. Go to our website, educate yourself, and you'll be free. You don't have to file nothing by October 15th. You are not a slave. You're a free man or woman. Let's go through our questions online. I have a friend who shared this with, and she keeps asking me how Martha Stewart went to jail and if we aren't required to pay taxes. Because she filed a 10-4 income tax confession form. That's why she went to prison. Don't file those 10-4 confession forms. That's the problem here. Look at the screen on step 2. You put the noose around your own neck. That's what Martha Stewart did when she filed that form and went to prison for signing and filing that 10-4 form with the IRS. Very good question, my friend. Thank you for that question, Melly. Any other questions we have, guys? We're good up there? Okay. Very good, everybody. Listen, I would love for you to be free, but I cannot do it for you. You got to love yourself enough. You got to be curious enough to not to be a slave, not give your money to other crooks and criminals in the DC swamp who want to destroy you. Don't give your money to the bankers through the federal government. Okay? You can be free. Take your time. I'm telling you. It's wonderful to be free. I love it to be free. I want you all to be free. So I give you my love and wish you the very best. I'll be back with you next Tuesday night again.